Okay, a very warm welcome to everyone joining our another edition of our online clinic. Welcome to this webinar that we are doing via Zoom, and I see that quite a number of you have just joined us. Again, a very good afternoon to some of you who are based here in Singapore, and I think there's some of you from other countries as well, from Philippines, yeah, and yep. I see some of you also from other countries. Thank you from Malaysia as well. Welcome to our webinar. My name is Andy. I'm just going to do a quick share of my slides as I go through what we're going to cover today. Reduce alert noise, and we're going to deep dive into the SendQuick Filter Rules. And we are also going to introduce a very new feature in our upcoming patch that we'll be releasing soon, which is API Filter Rules. Okay, why you do that? And we're going to talk about it in a while. My name is Andy Han. Again, I'm the Customer Experience Manager. In case you have any issues regarding our SendQuick, or you need to talk to anyone, you need help, anything, come find help, you can always drop me an email, andyhan@sendquick.com. So today I'm very honored and glad to have three of my colleagues joining me today. We have Joreen, who is joining all the way from Malaysia, our Senior Product Development Manager. And right in the room with me is Nicholas and Ted, who are our technical support engineers. They will be helping to answer any questions that you have regarding this topic that we are doing today. So without further ado, I'm going to just go straight into what we are doing what we're covering and why we are doing this webinar. First is why alert noise is going to give us trouble and why we need to look into SendQuick Filter Rules. So I believe some of you are already our existing customers, so welcome again, and just want to refresh about our filter rules as well as talk about the new API filter. And of course, some of you may not be our customer yet, you're just exploring. I just welcome you again. If you have any questions, like I said, type it in the Q&A section. You can either do the chat, but I think the Q&A section will be good in this Zoom. If you find there's a Q&A, you type in your questions. We'll be able to answer this later part of this webinar. All right. Okay, so why filter rules? These are common issues faced by technical teams most of the time. Is too many systems these days. There's so many alerts, right? It's overload. Does that mean if you have many systems, each system you need to configure all the different notification at that particular system, or you can do it in one system? And this is why SendQuick comes as a very good solution where you can connect to many systems. You don't need to have multiple notification systems because it's going to handle the high volume across channels. Then there are also the issue of too many noise until you forget about the critical alerts. So sometimes there are too many notifications, you missed out the important alerts, all right? So, and that will result in delayed response, and this is the critical issue that we are trying to avoid. And of course, too many alerts, you have this thing, what our industry call alert fatigue, and this will increase risk of operational and security incidents if we start overlooking alerts because it's just overwhelmed by the noise that we have on the alert platform. Huh? Okay, so and the one other issue is you're sending the alert to the wrong person. So how do you route it to make sure that it is sent to the right people who are supposed to know what the alert is? And even if they know, are they acknowledging it and working on it? So sometimes the system alerts you send out, but you don't know if they are being acted upon. And our system, we're going to show you later on how you can do escalation, meaning if no alert acknowledgement is received, we have to notify another group of people, and we have up to 5 levels of such escalation. Okay, and finally, as we talk about AI, this is something that I'm going to be very excited to share a bit more. How do we do more intelligent filtering and prioritization? Okay, so we'll be doing that because now we're going to, these all are coming to why filter rules are important for alert management. And I'm glad to say SendQuick can do a lot of this that we just mentioned, how to fix them, and to show you how it is done, and to recap for those of you who have been using or you have not seen how SendQuick does it on the filter rules. I'm going to introduce my colleague, Nicholas Tan will be here to share with you. I'm not sure whether you can see his screen. You cannot see the screen because you never share your video there. Okay, and he will be sharing about our filter rules. Okay, with that, I pass the time over to Nick.
Hi, okay. So SendQuick currently support the following filter rules: email filter, SNMP thread as slot, Okay, SendQuick currently support those three filter rules. How SendQuick send out SMS, email to SMS, alert via email filter. Okay, later we'll cover the email structure, alert format, escalation, filter rules, and to reduce repeated SMS. Okay, so these are simulation diagram how coming from SolarWinds. So most commonly, a lot of our users are using SolarWinds. Okay, so this is sending to our SendQuick with the modem. So basically, all your messages and alert will be sending out by our SendQuick, followed by the modem through SMS. Then you receive your alert. Okay, so the common email structure, right, for alerts to be sent to SendQuick, right, from your SolarWinds and to SendQuick, right. Common email structure will be using the followed by mobile number and followed by the SendQuick IP address. Or you can go by followed by numbers followed by the SendQuick host and domain name. And okay, you can have descriptions followed by the IP address, like for information or for server down or UPS at SendQuick IP address. These are the common email structure. So we'll cover how to set filter rules to reduce repeated SMS. So this is a recap how you're going to set this. Okay, then for this, right, we have this management time buffer. Okay, this will help you to reduce the numbers of alerts. Okay, we have the rule time buffer. Okay, and the message time buffer. This will help you to reduce the number of fatigue alerts. Alert formats. Okay, so later I will cover on alert formats. Okay, what are the alert formats you can use to help you to reduce the SMS text? So maybe you have some SMS text that coming in from SolarWinds, then you would like to reduce the text. Okay, reducing the text, and you would like to focus on the important content message. So we can later we will cover on the alert formats. Okay, I will do an online demonstration later on the alert format. Okay, the table explains the functionality of each alert format. So later I'll do a demonstration. I will put in this text website www.sendquick.com is down. So later we will do one test on simulation. So we will reduce the text. So later on when you receive the SMS, you will only see the important text that is shown as is down. On the right side of the column here, you show this one is down. Okay, and later on, I will do the online demonstration of escalation. Okay, in our email to SMS filter rules, right, we can do the number of our escalation. We can have level 1 up to level 3 up to level 5 of escalation. Okay, so you can have different escalation, like for certain escalation supports in your technical support, you may have level 1 engineer, level 2 engineer that support. So we can have number of escalation. So, okay. Let's see. Yeah. So now let me share my screen. I can see the mouse. The answer. Okay. So now everyone can see my screen, right? Okay. Now I log into our test server here. So basically we have the email filter rules here. Filter Rules. So from here, you can put in the description. So in this demonstration, I'll be using alert at SendQuick IP address. So the subject will be alert. Okay. So I will be using the matching rules or so under view. Okay, for this demonstration, right, I'll put in the alert templates. So based on the escalation level, message content, and case ID. So you can make use of the keyword here. So for this demonstration, I will be using alert mode, escalation, and reports. So from here, total number of escalation, I put into 2 levels for this demonstration. It can be up to 5 level of escalation. Sending acknowledgement notice, right? Yeah. I'm using SMS, email. Okay, so you can take SMS or email. You can select what kind of acknowledgement you want to be received. Okay, we have voice also. You can use voice. Okay, you can actually send an SMS via voice. So once your engineer pick up the phone call, there will be a voice alert coming from the phone. So I put in my contact numbers, and I put in another contact number to simulate this test. And the last one the report will be received by my email. Okay, so what is this useful? So at the end of the whole flow of the escalation, if no one reply back, right, the management, mainly are for management to monitor. So the management will receive an email of the whole process report. So we can check by the email who have replied or who have not replied, as this case has been attended. So for this demonstration, I will be using my email Thunderbird. Okay, so for this settings, right, I will change the SMTP to point to the SendQuick IP address.
So one thing is showing is that he's using an external system to simulate sending an email to our SendQuick server, which then send in a SMS or the message that you want to send. And of course, he's using Thunderbird to show you if you send an email from your external system and what will happen when SendQuick will convert it. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. You're right, Andy. So basically right now I will be typing an alert message. Okay, I'll just put testing alert. Okay, so when you click send, so once the rules matches your alert filter, your email filter, then the SendQuick will pick up the condition of the rules and send the SMS to the recipient. Okay, so in usage log, right, you can see the message coming in. So under send log, you can view the message. View. Okay, you can see the escalation coming in, showing that it's level 1. Level 1 already received the SMS alert. Okay, then you can follow by the case ID. Case ID will be at the back, 227. So if there's no response from the case ID, email will be triggered out.
So the simulation that Nick is showing right now is that, let's say your external system have detected something, an incident. All it needs to do is send an email to SendQuick, and SendQuick then converts now the part that he's showing is that when the SMS is being sent to the engineers with the case ID, the engineer can reply with the case ID to acknowledge. And if there's no acknowledgement, we can escalate this same alert to another level.
Yes. Right. Yeah, you're right, Andy. So basically, right, okay, if let's say now I have received the first level reply, first level, we have signed out the first level and second level. So if the third level, the second level, there's no acknowledgement, right, email will be triggered. So mainly these are triggered to the supervisor or management team. They will receive the email, then they will know that, oh, okay, so no one has acknowledged these alerts. Okay, so this is one of the example here. Okay,
As you can see, the email has been triggered. No one has sent reply back with the case ID. This is a report will be sent to the email.
Yes, because just now Nick chose the option of showing escalation and report. So while it did escalation, the report will also be sent to an email to let you know whether there was actually sent what happened, whether it was escalation or not.
All right. Okay. So my second demonstration, right, we will be using the alert format. Okay, based on the alert format here, okay, so we'll be simulating the alert format using the same alert at SendQuick IP address. Then you use the subject call shutdown. Okay, yeah, the email comes in. Okay, so just now let me recap again. So if there's no one has replied back with the case ID, so an email will be triggered up. That's the email will be triggered up. So the next demonstration, right? Okay. So I will be based on the alert format. Okay. So for this demonstration, right? Okay, we will filter by the alert format based on text after the pattern. So the keyword we can put in. So for this demonstration, I'll put in SendQuick as the keyword.
Now, this alert pattern format is useful because sometimes some systems, they actually send out message, a very long message with all the information. But with SMS, there are limited characters. And if you will receive more than one, you'll charge multiple SMS. So in some cases, people want to cut down the unimportant message part of the message. So you can use pattern matching to allow you to format your alert so that you get shorter, concise message, but enough information to understand what the message is about.
Yes, you're right. So people can focus on the important messages.
Okay, so I'll trigger this. So once the alert has been triggered, okay, you can see the message show is down. So after the SendQuick, then the following message will be down. So we only display the after you.
Can you show back the pattern of this one, that why is only truncated to is down?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. So in filter rules under view, okay, you click edit. Okay, you can see the sorry, this one, format. Yeah, okay, all right. Under edit, right? Okay, you can see the text after the pattern. So I put in the keyword SendQuick. So after SendQuick, right, it will show the text after SendQuick. The show is down.
Right. So, for example, yeah, this is if people can put words like keywords like critical, then you want to show only things that's said after the pattern critical is appearing in a message. So, besides text after the pattern, what were other options that we can see?
Yeah, we can use other options, text before the pattern, text exclude the pattern, and text between two patterns. Or you can search and replace the keyword. Example, certain alert messages, you want to replace certain keyword. You can use the search and replace.
Yes, this will certainly help shortening the messages so that you have less noise and highlighting the critical items that you need to take a look at.
And maybe you want to hide certain confidential messages. Yeah, you can also use the search and replace.
Okay, that's good. Very good. Yeah, is there anything else you'll be showing us?
Okay, so basically what we have covered right just now with the alert format and the escalation. So maybe we can try one more on the escalation when someone reply the case ID. What will happen? Yeah.
I had a chat question asking which patch has this all these updates. Actually, we are actually recapping what is already in your system. If your system, if you are using either Entera, you should have all this already in your existing system. It's not a latest patch. This is not latest release. This feature has been around, and if you maybe after the webinar, we need to find out how to look for it. You can drop us an email. We can help you there. Yep. So I have a check say yes, you're using Alert Plus. Alert Plus, we have to check whether it should be in it, and then drop us an email and support will help you on that to identify where the option for you to do this. This feature are all already available. So we're doing a recap first. Yeah, which is why we are doing recap in case you have not known that we have this feature all along. Escalation, alert pattern, all these things are all there already. Okay, well, let Nick continue first.
Mm. Okay. So basically, right, okay, I've done a simulation. So when you reply to the case ID, right? Okay, so under alert logs, right? Okay, maybe you can show it under alert log, under the alert case. Okay, okay. So in the alert case, you can see, let me show you an example. Okay, in the alert case, right, you can also see the message being respond and who has been respond to reply. Okay, so in this case, right, I've done a simulation test, okay, for the escalation. So now I'm replying to the case ID. So this case ID will stop the escalation flow to the next level. So example for this escalation, remember that we talked about the escalation level, okay? Level 1, level 2. So level 1, if level 1 didn't acknowledge, level 2 acknowledge, then it will stop the escalation flow to the next level. So in here, right, if you go to usage log, message log, okay, under the inbox, you can see the case ID being replied. Okay, if you scroll down to alert logs, right, we have the alert logs to track the case alert. So from here, right, okay, you can see the case alert. Okay, who has replied? Okay, so we will show you who has replied. Okay, yeah.
Oh, to be precise, I think Ted has replied to say that the patch number 12 HF12 patches has already all this. But again, drop us an email and support will be able to help you. They're already included in the in your existing system. Okay, any more are you sharing?
Yeah.
I already completed my online demonstration. Do drop us if you have any questions regarding it.
Okay, great. Thank you, Nick, for sharing this section about some of these existing filter rules that we have, some of the feature to recap for some of you. And I think we have some, we'll come back to you customers who have maybe on an older patch, so they haven't seen this they're seeing this for the first time, which is great. Then let us talk to us. We'll see how we can help you to make sure that all these features are made available to you to help you to do your alert management. But of course, some of the challenges with our current like email filter and all this syslog SMP trap is that it's mostly one way. When we send, the only thing we can do is acknowledgement from the engineer, and then we do escalation. But there's some people who say that can the engineer give more information about their status? Then we need more information, structured data to be sent to and fro. And this is where we are coming up with the API filter, which then allows you to do that, not just purely one-way messaging out alerts, but also receiving some feedback from the engineers that we can feedback to your ITSM system or whatever system that triggered the API. Okay, so without further ado, let me just share my screen again. We are going to invite another speaker now to share, and that is none other than Joraine. Can you all see my screen? Yeah, Joraine will be doing the next segment, which is to introduce this new API filter rules that we'll be introducing in our next patch release. Okay, let's go on.
Maybe we can start now. Okay, so the API filter for this one is actually a new feature in the coming patch. Okay, so for the this is the end-to-end flow from the incoming webhook and then to the third-party status update. So it's actually it's a closed loop that usually for other system for your existing email filter or other email alerts, right, is only sent out maybe from your monitoring system or from other system. You send out alert, an email to us, and then we send to the recipients, and recipients come back, maybe they acknowledge, and then it just stop at our server there. So for the API filter, we can actually update the status back to the third party. Okay, so for example, we will use the manage engine as for example here. So first of all, the webhook, your third-party system, let's say the manage engine send something happen and then it trigger an email request or a ticket, and then the
Sorry.
yeah, this one. So
Yeah.
so manage engine will send an API webhook to SendQuick. So so we do the authentication, API authentication check. So for the step 2, and then we can support like flexibility. You can use either the basic auth, bearer token, or the API key. Yeah. And then after that, we capture all the parameters in the API, in the webhook. And then we will use that parameter and then do the mapping to the variable. So let's say the ticket ID, the created time, and then maybe some description or the who raised the ticket and when. So all the information we can capture from the webhook. So after that, we will send the alerts to notify your team. So let's say for example, the variables or the parameters we capture from the step 3, we can actually put inside the message to be sent out to your recipients. So they will get whatever important info they need to know in the maybe in a message, SMS or WhatsApp message. So they will know what happened, and we also have the keyword matching in this logic, so that just like what Nicholas has shared before. So we have a keyword matching so that you can actually define, let's say, the API parameter. If this API parameter contains some critical info that you want to send out the alert, then you can configure the keyword inside the configuration. So we only send out to if the parameter match with the value, match with the keyword. Yeah. So then after we send out the message to your team, maybe in SMS or in message in WhatsApp, Telegram, or maybe a voice call and email in different types, then they can actually reply to the message. They reply as the case ID. So the case ID is actually defined in our system. So this is not the real ticket ID from your third-party system, but it's a case ID for our internal process. So they can reply to the case ID, the status, and then the additional info that they want to update back to your third-party system. So after that, the status will be forwarded back to the source API. Not every system will have this API, so we need to study first. But for this example, the manage engine actually can have this feature ready. Yeah. So this is the full flow, like the data flow from end to end. Let's say we receive the webhook, we send out the alert to your engineers, to your support team, and then your support team, let's say, they receive the SMS, and then they just reply to the SMS to update the status back to your third-party system. So they don't really need to log into the third-party portal to check the status or to update the status. Yeah. So this is the full loop, the closed loop. Okay. So the API filter is built for the flexible integration. So we have the flexible authentication, two-way. That means in and out. So we can support the different type of authentication. And then the custom parameter mapping is we capture whatever the values you need from the webhook, and then we capture it as a variables. And then we have a smart alert routing. We only deliver to the right recipients based on the keyword matching. So these are all the configurable in the SendQuick. And
So it could be like database, you send to the database engineer,
yes,
network issue, you send to the network engineer.
yes, correct. So the two-way integration. So we receive the webhook, we send back the status, then we close the loop automatically. Yeah. Then yeah. So next one, just a screenshot of some configuration in SendQuick. So okay, so for the inbound webhook, we can this is the webhook URL is fixed, so it's based on what your SendQuick host and domain, the URL, and then /API/alert. Then the API ID is a unique ID we generated for the authentication method. So the authentication, we can support different types. And then for this screenshot, it's actually using the bearer token and then the token value. Then for the content type, we can also support different method, different format like JSON, XML, or the URL encoded. So for this example, is using JSON. Then we have this ticket ID. So the parameter column is actually whatever they send from we receive from the webhook. So from your third party sent to us, the parameter name is ticket ID, and then we capture it and put it as an ID, and so on. So let's say the subject, the description, or the requester name. Then the alert ID is the ticket ID. That means we will use that to update back to your system. So this is the unique ID from your third-party system also. Yeah. So okay, so I want to mention the filter. So the filter column is actually the for the keyword matching. So let's say the subject, you just want to send alert when the subject contains like the keyword like critical. So you just put the critical in the subject there. Yes. So the keyword, so it only match and send out alerts when the incoming webhook, the subject parameter has this keyword critical. Yeah. So this is
Right.
where we only send out the whatever info, whatever alerts we need. Okay.
Okay.
And for this acknowledgement update, okay, this is the outbound update back to your third-party system. So it depends on your system, the third-party system, whether they have the API to update the status or not. So for this managed engine, then this is the URL, and then we just follow whatever they need. Usually they have their own API specs, and then we just follow whatever that require us to set in the header, in the body, the body also. So for this example, we use the URL encoded, and then from here, right, you can see the input data, the request body is input data equals to the request status, remark, and mobile. So from the remarks there's a available variables. Then we have some variables you can post back in the payload, send back to the third-party system. We use the value and then send back to them, post back to them. So for this example, there are actually 3 types of the API status value. So acknowledgement value is 1, 2, 3. That means the status. When user reply, they need to reply case ID 1, means resolved. Then we will update resolved as a status back to the third party. So for example, number 2 is closed. So we just update status equals to close, update back to them. So the acknowledgement value is what we expect user to reply. And then the API status value is what we will update back to the third-party system. Yeah. Okay, then the remark is whatever behind the message. So let's say when your support team reply with something like case ID 1, 2, 3, space, then 1, then space, then some info like I have already resolved it or whatever message, and then this whole message will be updated back to the third-party system. Okay, can go to next page. Okay, so the alert message. So we can, since we actually capture all the parameter from the API webhook, right? So if you remember, previously we captured the ID, description, the requester name, requester email, created time. Yeah, so we can put it and then we use it to compose the message. So all the variables is being shown in the right hand side, the description there. So you can use that info to compose the message sent to your engineers. Yes. Next. So I think that's all from the for the configuration. So this is the video and show you how it works for the managed engine help desk.
For this video, we'll configure an API filter rule in SendQuick and integrate it with Manage Engine Service Desk Plus. With this setup, SendQuick users will automatically receive notifications whenever a new request is created in Service Desk Plus. From their mobile device, users can simply reply to acknowledge the case and provide resolution details, which are then updated back into Service Desk Plus. This integration ensures that tickets are acted on quickly, improves visibility, and helps support teams close cases more efficiently. Let's begin the configuration. First, create a new API filter rule in SendQuick. A unique SendQuick API ID will be generated to identify Service Desk Plus as the source. Next, set the authentication method so only trusted requests are accepted. Define the content format for new requests, and optionally add filter keywords to trigger alerts only for specific cases. To update status back to Service Desk, go to the Acknowledgement tab. Enter the Service Desk URL with OAuth details, then configure the header and request body to include status and resolution info. Finally, define response keywords that map directly to Service Desk status updates. Now, switch to the Service Desk portal and create a notification webhook to integrate with SendQuick. Configure authentication, include the SendQuick API ID in the header, and map the message body fields to match the SendQuick settings. This ensures smooth communication between both systems. Next, go to the Triggers section and create a new trigger that sends a notification webhook to SendQuick whenever a new request is created in Service Desk. Let's test the setup to make sure everything is working as expected. From the Service Desk portal, go to the Requests section and click to create a new request. Enter the details, select a requester from the list of users. After filling in the required fields, go ahead and submit the request. As soon as the request is submitted, the trigger we configured earlier is activated. This trigger immediately sends a notification webhook from Service Desk to SendQuick, carrying all the details we defined in the message body. The user receives the alert message on their mobile device and replied directly with the case ID, followed by a predefined keyword such as one to confirm the update. They can also add any additional information, like a short resolution note. SendQuick then takes the user's reply and automatically updates the case in Service Desk Plus. The ticket status is changed according to the predefined keyword, and the resolution notes provided by the user are added directly to the request.
Okay, I think that's the end of the video, Jory.
Yes. So actually you can from your the video here, right? So when the user reply, okay, I will create, actually you being logged inside the manage engine.
Yeah. So it sends directly via the API instead of they having to log into the manage engine and key in the status.
Yeah, correct.
So which makes the workflow much simpler and easier. And more faster as well. I mean, it's not faster in sending out this status. Okay. Yeah. Anything else to add, Joreen?
I think that's all. So yeah, just wait for any question.
Okay, so just a quick one before I wrap up. So the reason why, as you can see, your API filtering is very useful if you have certain platform like ITSM or any help desk support where sometimes you get support tickets been raised, and then you can straight away trigger to the engineer, and the engineer can look at it and then come back with the status all through all the messaging this communication channel. And of course, we can send more than just text message now, like email. You just, in the past, email filter, you can only capture what's in the message. But here you can send structured alerts where you can tell which one is the remarks, which is the sender, who is the ID, all these things, separate data that you can send through API. And most importantly, bi-directional, where you can have better response from your engineers on the field. And of course, this helps to facilitate a workflow automation, all right? Okay, which then help you to tailor exactly which alert goes to who. Okay, so with that, we have done the recap of the filter rules that currently SendQuick has, plus this new API filter that is coming up in that new patch that's going to be released soon. Okay, so with that, we come to the end. Thank you very much again, and hope you join us in our next webinar. Okay, goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.